I can't go back to the underground base now, Layla writes. It would be too risky. I've already spoken to my father yesterday about our alliance with the Overseer and agreed it would be best if we both moved somewhere on the surface. After the end of the conflict, we have a meeting spot where we will be seeing each other later in the evening. Are you sure they'll let him leave the caverns, I say. They let him, Layla writes. I have no doubts about that. Even if they suspect him to be a traitor, they simply owe him too much to not at least allow him to leave their base safely. But I don't think they should have any reasons to suspect him. As far as they know, we've all been captured by the Overseer together with the rebel fighters, so it would be perfectly normal with my father want to go to the surface to look for me. I suppose that's true, I say. Once again, there is a pause, but this time it doesn't feel unnatural. We both know that our night shift is almost at its end, but we already accepted it. We have no regrets. I think it's time to go wake up the others, Layla writes. It's almost morning. Right, I say, as I get up as well. Let's go. After taking a few steps forward, Layla turns her head back to me one more time, as some new floating texts are forming themselves in front of me. I'll miss you, Barry, Layla writes. I know, I say, I'll miss you too. With these last words, we head back to our room. We do not say anything else to each other until we wake all our friends up. As soon as everyone was up on their feet, we left our room together. Then we stopped in front of the inn so that we could each say goodbye to Layla one by one. Even though we were originally planning to keep it short, each one of us ended up spending well over a minute with Layla, as if we simply didn't want to let go. Darren even gifted Layla one of his transceivers, instructing her to give it to Dr. Wright Zeke, so that we could at least contact her through her father from time to time, in order to know that she was safe. By the time that Kate's turn finally came to say... What? By the time that Kate's turn finally came to say her goodbyes, she could no longer control herself. She burst into tears. Oh, Kate is crying. That's unusual. As she hugged Layla very tightly in her arms. Layla, I'm going to miss you so much, Kate says, while trying in vain to stop the tears from flowing down her face. I promise that I'll come back to you. I promise. I'll bring back Diana too, and Barry and everyone else, and we're all going to... What is wrong with you people? Haraka shouts all of a sudden from her amulet. You're all going to be seeing each other in 1 week. Wait, why are we going to see each other in 1 week? But you're whining and crying like children. Is there really no limit to your stupidity? How do you know it's going to be only 1 week? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Darren asks her. At the moment, we have no idea when the tournament will end. It could be well over a month before. I'm not talking about the end of the tournament, you cretin. She's probably talking about the God of Time's ritual. Wait, that shouldn't affect her, should it? Arka says, I'm talking about Selkram's ritual. Did you already forget that he had to interrupt the second trial and that he said we will continue it next time? We're all going to be taking that trial again together, whether you like it or not. Yeah, but Layla will no longer be traveling with us at that time, Hardrick says. How is he going to get her into the ritual if she won't even be there with us anymore? You really think Selkram is the kind of person who would let something as trivial as that stop him from getting what he wants? If the mute girl will not be there when the trial is about to begin, then he will bring her there. If Aiden can send someone from all across the continent and teleport them to him, then so can the God of Time. I guarantee you that Selkram never lets anyone escape his trials, no matter where they might be. In other words, you should be meeting your precious Layla again within the next 10 days at most. Now, can you please stop with your whining? I'm trying to concentrate her on something. Well, Kate tells Layla as she's wiping the last tears from her face. In that case, I guess we'll see you later then. Oh, she says it as a question. We'll see you later then. See you later. Layla writes with a smile as the rest of us begin to head towards Olinda's gates while waving goodbye to Layla one last time. Proceed to the next section of the chapter. Next section, right? I found it from the comments that apparently the author died and the Magium's future is up in the air. But book 3, chapter 11 is up to where they have made it. There might be some stuff on Reddit. Apparently, the mother of the creator, of the author, posted some of this stuff out onto his Reddit. I'll see if I can find that. But other than that, we might just be getting to book 11. And then I'll do the perfect playthrough. And then we'll leave Magium for probably forever. But we'll see. Hey Darren, there you are, Hardrick says. I've been looking for you. Care to join me for a short sparring match? I just came up with a few new techniques and I want to see how well they work against a seasoned warrior such as yourself. Sure, Darren says, without diverting his focus on the transceiver that he is currently working on with his enchanting tool. Just give me a minute. Adric nods and he walks closer to Darren so they can have a better look at what he's doing. It's now been 4 days since we left Orlando, but for the past 12 hours or so, we've been stuck waiting in the same forest, clearing where we placed our tents yesterday. Benita told us to wait here while she makes the necessary preparation to contact a mysterious friend that is supposed to give us the pine cone. I forgot about the pine cone detector thing. But she hasn't come back since, so we've mostly been keeping ourselves busy with our training. Darren, on the other hand, has been very preoccupied with his transceiver for the past few hours. At first, it seems like he was just doing some regular maintenance, but now I'm beginning to think that it's more than that. Perhaps he's working on an sort of, what the fuck is that? Perhaps he's working on an sort of upgrade. Is that proper English to be using on an? Well, maybe. So you're still not done with that transceiver of yours, huh? Hardrick tells Darren. What's wrong with it? Did it break it or did it break or something? There's nothing wrong with it, Darren says without interrupting himself from what he is doing. I'm just trying to improve it. I've got an idea from a discussion that I had with Araka about auras yesterday. Now I want to see if I can make use of what I've learned from her to further strengthen the magical signals of my transceiver. But you said that it was already strong enough to contact people on other continents, right? Hardrick says. You want to make it even stronger than that? It can normally contact people who are on other continents, yes, but I can't do it from this place for whatever reason, Darren says. But Athia most likely has some sort of signal blocking spell cast all over the island to prevent any outside contact except for the one authorized by the kings. I'm trying to bypass this restriction. I feel like I'm really close to a major breakthrough here. I just need to do a few final tweaks. You still haven't managed to contact your wife after all this time? Hardrick asks him. No, I'm honestly starting to get a bit worried about her, Darren says. It's been almost a whole month since I last spoke to her, and there was no reason to suspect that the tournament would take this long. I can't even begin to imagine how hard it must have been for her, waiting to hear from me these past few weeks, not knowing whether I was alive or dead. If there is even the slightest chance that I can reach her by doing this, I have to try. Alright, well, take your time then, Hardrick says. No need to rush things on my account. You go ahead and make sure that everything's working and expected. Thanks, Darren says. I'll do that. Hey, moron, Araka tells me from the amulet around Flower's neck. Stop eavesdropping and pay attention to what I'm doing. It's not often that you get the privilege to learn from a genius such as myself. I would pay a little more attention if you weren't so incredibly bad at explaining things, I tell Araka. I honestly have no idea how Iluna even managed to learn anything from you. Be quiet, Araka said. It takes me a whole hour to cast this spell while I'm in the damn amulet. I'm not planning to do it twice. The least you could do is have the decency to look at it. Now, are you ready or not? Sure, whatever I say, I'm ready. And make sure to observe every last magical particle flowing from my amulet, Araka says. If you do that, you will quickly understand why I'm showing this to you. Here it goes. As Araka is casting her spell, I didn't even get the time to wonder what she meant because an intense feeling of dread overwhelms me immediately. It's the exact same feeling that I got during the first God of Time's ritual. Also 15 minutes ago when my sister first turned into a banshee. And also 15 years ago when my sister first turned into a banshee. So it's a feeling of dread spell? Come to think of it, I also remember getting a similar feeling, although not quite the same, when Araka possessed Flower's body after breaking out of her amulet. Could this mean that she is now casting the spell that constitutes the basis of a banshee's awakening? It's like you do recognize this spell, Araka says, likely after seeing my reaction from the flow of my aura. That's good. It means we should be making some quick progress today. What you did just now, I tell Araka. It was extremely similar to what a banshee does when she awakens, but there was a very subtle difference, I can tell, because I had the opportunity to witness it multiple times during my ritual. Also, I have a very good idea about the way that pattern forms in most magical flows. I think the main difference was the focus. What? I also have a very good idea about the way the magical patterns form in the most magical flows. I think the main difference was the focus. So like a center point to the spell? Exactly, Araka says. See, you can do it if you try. Yes, the main difference is the focus. But you can tell what the focus of the spell is. What is its true purpose? To stabilize the banshee, maybe? Its true purpose, I say. Then I take a few seconds to think about what Araka said. Well, when a banshee awakens, the first thing she wants to do is stop talking suddenly, because the image of my sister turning into a banshee suddenly flashes in front of my eyes as I'm trying to remember the details of the awakening. Once I calm myself down, I continue with my train of thoughts. The first thing that she wants to do is to seize full control of the host body, I say. When I was inside the God of Times ritual, I could almost feel the desperation with which the Banshee was clinging onto her own life, fighting to drive my sister out of her body so that she could claim it as her own. But if the Banshee really was trying to use the spell you just showed me, then she was clearly using it wrong. That spell was never meant to be focused on the body, was it? The real target should have been soul of the victim. That is the real reason why the Banshee who possessed my sister turned into an abominable monstrosity, while you and the Banshee working for Talmak could retain the form of your host. The true purpose of the spell you just showed me is soul absorption. Wait, soul absorption? Isn't that the thing she did with all the ethereal plane people? The fairies or whatever they were? The ethereal forms of those people. That's why women can't use spells or something now, because she absorbed all the female souls because they were compatible with her.